Over the last few weeks, GMAuthority.com has brought you spy shots galore of the upcoming 2023 Chevy Colorado. Today we have a new set of spy shots for you of the 2023 Colorado, specifically of the work truck model. We caught it while it was undergoing high altitude testing out west. Now you might ask, why the Colorado work truck? It's really not the most exciting model in the lineup. It's, not the coolest. Sure, it's not either one of those things, but it is popular. In fact, for the 2022 model year, the current generation Colorado, Chevy expects the work truck to make up 25% of overall Colorado sales. So it is a popular choice, and we're going to look at it. So let's dig right in. As you would expect, and as you can see, this 2023 Colorado prototype is wearing a significant amount of camouflage. The big, heavy vinyl camouflage that aims to obfuscate everything there is underneath it. In fact, only the cab's roof features the more tighter fitting checkered camo. Speaking of the roof, it does appear to be wearing a fin style antenna. And that is a small yet, I would say, noteworthy departure from the current 2015 to 2022 models, which feature a kind of a short, stubby antenna at the top of the roof. The new model, as you can see, seems to be migrating to a fin-style antenna at the roof. Roof aside, let's now take a look at the truck as a whole. This model is certainly a crew cab short box configuration, and it is riding on a set of Steely style wheels that are, well, typical of the WT, the work truck trim level. The front 3/4 angles show that the front end features a much flatter fascia treatment when compared to the slightly more raked appearance of the current 2015 to 2022 Colorado models. But unfortunately, the camo is so thick and there's so much of it that it's difficult to tell exactly what's underneath it. In fact, we can't even tell from these shots whether or not this particular prototype is wearing production intent headlamps or if it's using a set of placeholder lights that's good just for testing. My bet is that it's using a set of placeholder headlights because all the prior prototypes we've seen of the 2023 Colorado have used placeholder lights as well, and we have yet to see production intent versions or production intent headlamps or headlight clusters, if you will, on any of the prototypes thus far. The body side is also covered in a solid amount of camo that really obfuscates the new sheet metal underneath. However, I should say that the general dimensions of the crew cab short box configuration seem to be in line with those of the current model. So it doesn't seem like the footprint is going to change that much from a width and length standpoint. In addition, this particular prototype is also wearing a hard tonneau cover that's hiding the box from view. And if you look at the rear end, it features a solid amount of vinyl camo, just like the front. And therefore it really kind of hides all of the details surrounding the box, the bed, the tailgate as well. That said, we can see that the general outline of the fender flares kind of protruding from underneath the camo, and it seems to have kind of a solid set of fenders there. So that seems to be a nice characteristic of the design of the 2023 Colorado. We can also see what appear to be indents in the rear bumper, indents that would represent or really where the corner step feature would go in a typical Chevy truck. That's, the corner step rear bumper is obviously a hallmark feature of Chevy trucks, Chevy pickups since the 2014 model year, I want to say, the 2014 K2 Silverado, and it seems that the 2023 Colorado will continue that tradition. If you look closely underneath the bumper, there is a single exit side exhaust tip on the passenger side of the truck, and no dual exhaust is present, and I think no dual exhaust will be offered on the 2023 Colorado whatsoever. Speaking of the exhaust, we might as well talk about some of the technical elements that we expect from the 2023 Colorado. So first, let's talk about the frame. At GMauthority.com, we expect that the 2023 Colorado will ride on an updated version of GM's midsize truck architecture. So the current architecture internally, the name is GMT 31XX, and the 2023 Colorado will simply use an iterated and evolved version, if you will, of that same platform, and that will be called GMT 31XX-2, meaning second iteration, second evolution, second generation. The truck will also feature an all-new exterior, an all-new interior, and an all-new heart, an all-new power plant, an all-new engine. And that's really, really good news in my opinion. So let's talk about the engine for a second. The engine in the 2023 Colorado, there's only going to be one. So that's down from 3 offered from 2015 through 2021/2022. Currently there are 3 engines. There's a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder, naturally aspirated, that's the LCV. There is also the naturally aspirated 3.6 liter V6, that's the LGZ. And then there's the Duramax diesel, the baby diesel, LWN, that's the 2.8 liter 4-cylinder baby Duramax. All those 3 engines will not be offered, are not expected to be offered in the 2023 Colorado. Instead, the new truck will only offer 1 engine, and that will be the turbocharged 2.7 liter 4-cylinder. L3B is the RPO code for that. And so here's where things get kind of interesting. In the Silverado 1500, that's where the L3B is currently offered in a truck application. In the Silverado 1500 for the 2019, 2020, and 2021 model years, the L3B was rated at 310 horsepower and a very healthy 348 pound-feet of torque. But here's the kicker. For the 2022, for the 2022 model year, there's a lot of 2s in there. For 2022, for the refreshed 2022 Silverado 1500, the L3B is actually going to get even more potent. And that's going to come by way of several hardware updates to the actual engine itself. And the result of those updates will be an increase in torque. What does that mean? Well, that means that in the 2022 Silverado 1500, the L3B will make 420 pound-feet of torque. So that's a big jump in torque from 348 to 420. It is currently unclear whether or not this particular version, this high output version of the L3B engine will make its way over to the 2023 Colorado at this point. As of right now, what we do know is that it will be powered by the L3B engine in the initial original tune. And as far as the transmission goes, well, shifting duty is expected to be done by GM's 10-speed automatic transmission. It's a good transmission, it's a solid transmission. It was co-developed with between GM and Ford, and it's still, in my book, it's still considered to be a new transmission. So 2.7 liter L3B Turbo 4, 10-speed automatic. Obviously rear-wheel drive, two-wheel drive on the one hand, and optional four-wheel drive on the other. That is what we expect to be coming down the pike from the 2023 Colorado from a powertrain standpoint. We also expect the 2023 Colorado to feature GM's new Global B electrical architecture that's otherwise known as Vehicle Intelligence Platform, or VIP. Now, take out the fancy names, take out all the jargon. What does that really mean? Well, what it means is over-the-air updates. Yes, Global B enables over-the-air updates to all vehicle components, and it also allows for the latest in infotainment technologies as well as for the latest in active safety technologies. As far as production goes, well, the 2023 Colorado will continue to be produced at the same plant that the 2015 through the 2022 model years produced, and that is, of course, GM's Wentzville plant in Missouri. It will be built alongside its corporate cousin at that facility, the 2023 GMC Canyon. GM has invested $1 billion into the facility specifically for these new 2023 model year midsize trucks. So there you have it. 2023 Colorado work truck. Those are the spy shots. I'm Alex Luft from GMauthority.com. Over and out.